Morning, Emma here. This morning I've come out to one of my local beaches, a little beach called Ramla on the island that I live in called Gozo. It's mornings like this that just remind me, it's like a smack in the face to be grateful for what I've got, or where I live, or how I live. And it reminded me about a conversation I was having yesterday with a friend of mine who was telling me that her brother's desperate to come and live out on the island. And I said, well, what holds him back? What stops him? And she said, I don't know really. She said, the fear, I guess, fear of losing everything, fear of not being able to make money, fear of failing. And it's the biggest thing that stops us from doing anything we want to do. But you know what? We wouldn't be here as humans if we hadn't felt the fear and done it anyway. And we wouldn't be human if we didn't feel fear. We wouldn't be here if we didn't feel fear. So fear is a natural part of life. And I think, the trick for me is to feel the fear and do it anyway. Fear is a great motivator. When you know what it is you want to do, you don't need to know all the steps of how to do it. You just need to make a decision. And that could be anything. It could be changing job, it could be moving on with life, it could be moving town, moving country, whatever it is. There's going to be some fear, because the biggest fear for all humans is the fear of not knowing. And when you do something new, you're not going to know. How are you? And you can't work out all the steps. But you don't need to know. There's a lovely analogy I know, and it's about crossing the Sahara Desert. And many, many years ago, the French Foreign Legion had to cross the desert. And there was a path there, but the path gets blown away with wind. And what they did was they placed the 50-gallon oil drums at 3-mile intervals. And so you can generally, if it's flat and not on a flat surface, you can generally see for about 3 miles. And the Sahara is very flat. So if you want to know the path, all you have to do is start your journey. And you can always see one barrel behind you and one barrel in front of you. You can't see the end of the trail. It's 500 miles across that desert, but you can always see your next step. And when you get to that step, then the next step is revealed to you. And that's how it goes. And that's how anything goes in life. That's how the path goes in life. One step at a time. So feel the fear and take the first step anyway. Who knows where it might lead in the end?